Last week, we looked through the Gospel of Thomas, which claims to be another gospel of Jesus, like Matthew, Mark, or Luke. One reason many Christians reject this book is because the most shocking, controversial verse which is there. But what if we're not understanding it right? We're going to look at that verse. I'll share how this verse has been explained or defended, and we'll see where we go from there. Here it is, verse 114. Simon Peter said to him, that would be Jesus, "Let Mary leave us, for women are not worthy of life." Jesus said, "I myself shall lead her in order to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit resembling you males. For every woman who will make herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven." Gosh, this is very much unlike how Jesus treats women in the four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The most common response I have heard is to take this verse metaphorically. I find it doubtful that the author of the Gospel of Thomas had a sex change in mind for Mary. Rather, Mary is to undergo a spiritual transformation in her mind from the earthly material nature equated with femaleness to the heavenly eternal nature equated with maleness. So that's a response. And here's how I would respond to that. Does it really solve the problem? If male and female are appropriate words for this metaphor, then maleness is still treated with higher regard than femaleness. Plus, we're still left with the fact that Jesus did not rebuke Peter in any way for his ridiculous statement. Even if Jesus' response was a metaphor, the fact that Peter called out Mary for being female sounds like he was speaking literally. In Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus is often seen correcting or rebuking his followers when they speak out of line. He doesn't do that here. The other response I've seen is to look back at the creation story in Genesis. It says that God took a rib out of the man to create a woman, and so this saying of Jesus in the Gospel of Thomas was not meant to be sexist, but it's a kind of reversal of creation back to how things originally were. But again, does this really solve the problem? Once more, we don't have any rebuke against Peter. Plus, it makes the creation of the female to be somehow bad and needing reversal. Right before God creates a woman out of man, he says, "It is not good for man to be alone." If that's why God made the female, why would Jesus undo that? The creation of the female is presented to us as a good thing, not an event that needs to be reversed. According to the Bible, all of God's creation is called very good. Nothing needs reversal until Genesis 3, when sin enters the world because of what people did. Throughout much of human history, females have been considered inferior to males. What we see in the Gospel of Thomas appears to simply be a product of its time. Many other ancient books like it speak in similar ways. Compare this with Jesus in the four Gospels, which are included in the Bible. You'll find that it's full of stories where Jesus elevates the status of women, treating them as equals in society. He healed a bleeding woman because of her faith. He commended a woman for her clever response. Some of his followers were women. He taught his disciples generosity through the illustration of a widow. This is strikingly different than what we get from the Gospel of Thomas. With that, and with last week's discussion video that I read about the Gospel of Thomas, and with an earlier video I did sharing why church history has rejected the Gospel of Thomas, I find there is plenty of reason to believe that the Gospel of Thomas simply does not belong in the Bible. It's not a true historical account of what Jesus actually taught. Check out those videos if you want to go deeper. If you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe. There's new stuff every week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.